Hi, my name is Mike Hansen, and I'm a digital marketer, father of 3 beautiful kids, and I'm here to talk about my experience with raw milk. And so my eldest son, Tristan, he's on the autism spectrum, and he's got some other global delays. And basically, we're going back years ago now, probably in 2011, 2012. He had a lot of health problems, a whole lot of health problems. Some of those health problems included him getting hospitalized for congestion in his lungs. He would have just really strained to breathe, and you could see his diaphragm overworking. And so this would land him in the hospital about every 3 to 4 months, pretty consistently over a period of a couple of years. And it wasn't getting any better. And we already had a pretty, I'm pretty health conscious. I don't eat perfect, but better than the majority of the American standard diet. So we were doing organic whole milk. We were doing fruits and vegetables and all that good stuff. And so the last time he went into the hospital, which I believe was in 2013, basically the doctors said, "Does your son have asthma?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Well, he does now." And so they wanted to put him on albuterol and all the garbage that they give people that have asthma, and there's no end date in sight. You know, that he basically is supposed to take that for the rest of his life. And my son already has global delays. He has developmental problems. He's got microcephaly, which is a small cranium. So we're already concerned about his size. And if you look at some of the side effects of albuterol, that can stunt growth. Well, for a 6-year-old, 7-year-old boy, that's not exactly something that I want to put him on for the rest of his life. So I did a little research, went to one of my best friends, good old Google, and did some research. Dr. Mercola is someone who I've learned from him. I've been using his website for probably 2 decades, and just was looking up some information on Dr. Mercola's website, and interesting to find that the problem, according to him, milk, and the solution, milk, raw milk. So the difference between the pasteurized, homogenized milk, even though we were buying organic whole milk, that process, that pasteurization, homogenization process, takes out all the beneficial enzymes and things that are in there. It's a live food. And so that's the long and short of it. And doing nothing else but changing from organic processed milk to raw milk. That's all we did. We saw huge changes in Tristan. First of all, he didn't have the congestion problems anymore, the breathing problems. That went away. There were other benefits. He used to kind of hold his arm in like this, doing nothing else but changing the milk. I mean, apparently the nutrition that he got from the raw milk made such an impact that it actually helped his physical and motor skills. So, can't speak highly enough about raw milk. And by the way, this is when we were living in California. We've been in Arizona now, going on 3 years in 2 months. So when we came here, when we were in California, we were paying $17 a bottle, $17 a gallon, and that was at Whole Foods. And when we came here to Arizona, it was maybe a few months. We were looking around, and I basically did some research and found Golden Rule Dairy on the Weston A. Price website, and called them up. Family-run operation. Actually got a chance to go to the dairy, which is based out of Elfrida, over towards Tombstone, and you know, it's just how much better can you get than a really nice family-run operation that really puts a lot of love and care into what they do. I mean, they put their heart and soul into what they do. These are well-fed cows. The feed that they give them is top quality, and we love the product. And the best thing is that compared to what we were paying in California, we're paying probably we're paying a fraction of that. So it's great stuff. We've been getting the Golden Rule Dairy brand raw milk now for probably about 2 years, maybe a little more, and couldn't be happier. So thanks so much.
I got a question or two.
Yeah.
Did you read anything that concerned you about raw milk when you were starting to research it initially?
You know, what's interesting about that, it's a good question, is when I originally started, when I was single, there was this myth that milk was bad. And so I personally actually stopped drinking any kind of milk. And what's interesting is that when you get sick, what's one of the things that people say to stay away from? Milk, right? Because it creates phlegm and mucus. Well, interestingly, what happens when we get sick now? If we drink milk, we don't get mucus from that. But to answer your question, I wasn't concerned because it wouldn't be on the market, number one. I did my research, and there's really what evidence is there of people having problems drinking raw milk? And if you think of it, what's the problem with drinking raw milk? It seems like it's pretty natural. And if you're a Bible reader, if you're a Christian, where did God send the Israelites to? To the land of milk and honey. And so that kind of made sense to me that, well, if he's sending them to the land of milk and honey, it's got to be good stuff. So, and I know honey is good. You know, you put milk in that same bucket, so that seemed to make good sense. And I trusted Dr. Mercola is someone who I trust. Like I said, I've read his stuff for years, and from the time I started reading from Mercola's website, you know, and the time I learned about raw milk, we're talking about well over 10 years. So, yeah, so I didn't have an issue or any concerns, and I can assure you from somebody who has been giving, not just drinking raw milk, but giving raw milk to children, including my youngest. I have 3. We started my youngest when she was just a little over a year old. And so it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. The benefits, that's for another video, for another time, and probably someone who's more qualified to tell you about that. But we've seen so many benefits to drinking raw milk. I mean, in our household, it's liquid gold. It's literally liquid gold.
Did it help with any of the prescriptions, or did it change prescriptions that your children were on?
He doesn't take any prescriptions.
Oh, okay.
That's something I was pretty adamant about if we didn't have to. I've done some other natural treatments and focus on diet, and we've seen, I mean, the Tristan that you see now is a totally different Tristan than we saw even a couple of years ago. But he doesn't get sick. He used to always get sick, and so he just doesn't anymore. I mean, not that we never get sick, but it's not like it was before. And now most people don't even realize he's on the spectrum. He does have, he wears hearing aids, and so his speech is going to be, it's not going to be perfect. So someone might think it's just because of the hearing loss, but other than that, he seems like a pretty normal kid. And that's much in part due to raw milk. It's a great food.
So socialization has been better too, from that, you mentioned the autism a little. And
yeah, all the way around. So his socialization, his physical abilities. You know, like I said, you've seen kids that kind of have one hand or one arm that kind of does this. Actually, he used to have a weak, it was his right arm. When he used to pick up a cup of water or anything to drink, it would shake. I mean, it was very unsteady. We used to have him use 2 hands. Now he doesn't have to. So we've seen physical improvements, we've seen health improvements, we've seen cognitive improvements with his thinking and his socialization. So he's ramping up. He's doing well.
Is there anything about that that might be attitude related as well, or any changes in behavior, I mean to say, or?
Attitude related, I don't think so. He's got his personality, so that hasn't changed. I think if anything, his personality is grown, is developed, like you would expect a child to develop. Obviously, he's delayed. He's not a typical 11-year-old, but he's made leaps and bounds, and so we see a bright future ahead for him, which I can honestly tell you, 5 years ago, we weren't too sure. We weren't too sure about what kind of future was ahead. So no, he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Oh, that sounds great. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.